So while we're all out here eating dead squirrels in front of vegan fucking protests and shit and arguing about which diet's the healthiest, we're eating this shit. Are we fucking dumb or what? So I've talked a lot about glyphosate over the past week because I wanted to raise awareness about it to everyone. And like recently, one of you has been trying to get me to get into Frank Tufano's channel. And Frank Tufano came to my comments and said he had talked about glyphosate. I assume this is you, Psychic Outlaw Chanel, that made this happen. But Frank Tufano commented on one of my videos and sent me a link saying of a video that he supposedly talked about glyphosate. So I sat and I watched the fucking thing. And it was basically just him bitching about other people in the carnivore community kind of not giving him recognition and not allowing him to do stuff I gave no fucks about, basically. And I think he said the word GMO somewhere in that video at one point. At no point did the video talk about glyphosate, didn't tell us what it was, didn't tell us anything. And my point about all of these other motherfuckers not getting that point across, not sharing this knowledge, is that they haven't gone over it. Somebody told me Dr. Berg did. I'm going to have to dig to find that. I would prefer if you threw a link up. If you're, if you know one of these other health YouTubers that's talking about it, I have yet to really see them do it. I have my go-tos like, Stephanie Seneff and all of these other, even Dr. Mercola has covered it on more than one occasion, though he's the orthorexic one that I kind of, like I'm not being orthorexic talking about glyphosate and shit. Okay, I'm a piece of shit. I'm sorry. But if you're vegan, if you're keto, and even if you're carnivore, you're exposed to the shit. But how much you're exposed, that is the variable. And here today we're going to talk about who has the most exposure based on what is dubbed the Dirty Dozen. These are the 10 most chemically fucking laced, fully tested vegetables and fruits that are in our lives. And make no mistake, if you are a vegan or a keto who eats these foods, you are going to have health complications, problems with your digestion. You are going to have autoimmune problems. You're going to have all kinds of disorders that pop up, and you are also at high risk for cancer. It's just the way it is. So let's go get into it just a little bit here. This comes from EWG.org. They're the ones that came up with this shopper's guide to pesticides in produce. So if you wanted to get these chemicals out of your fucking diet, you should avoid the things on this list. It also tells us what the okay ones are. So for those of you vegans who are really suffering, you should definitely take note. And for you ketos who are suffering, it might not all be just the diet. It might be the chemicals in some of the whole foods that are perfectly healthy looking, and you are eating the shit out of them. And that's why you feel like shit. And it's why I've had to remove a lot of the plants that I did enjoy from my diet, or keep them to a bare fucking minimum. And that's what I recommend. Dose determines the poison. The more of this shit you eat, and the more often you eat it, the more serious your symptoms will become. And some people are just so sensitive, like Michaela Peterson, for example, they get symptomatic almost immediately. And I'm willing to bet that some of this dirty dozen are the reason that she was suffering the way she did. So, nearly 70% of the produce sold in the U.S. comes with pesticide residues, according to EWG's analysis. That's 70% of the shit in your aisle. So you got a 70% chance of eating this shit. Keep that in mind. That's a pretty staggering amount. The most surprising news from the USDA tests. That's the USDA, and I talk a lot of shit about the government, but apparently they're the ones doing the test. Reveal that the popular health food kale, how many fucking vegans you know are all about kale, is among the most contaminated fruits and vegetables. More than 92% of kale samples had 2 or more pesticide residues detected, and a single sample could contain up to 18 different residues. That's 18 different fucking chemicals in there, and glyphosate's probably one of them, that are in there destroying your gut wall, causing leaky gut, causing autoimmune problems, causing anxiety, causing depression, any number of inflammation issues, cancer. These are all caused by these chemicals. And they're in there. They're in there. It's tested. It's proof right there. Go to the USDA website. Look at the tests. The most frequently detected pesticide found on nearly 60% of kale samples was Dacthal. I don't even want to look that up. It's going to set me off. I can feel it. Or DCPA, classified by the Environmental Protection Agency since 1995 as a possible human carcinogen. So there we go. We got more cancer-causing shit. Wasn't bad enough the fucking glyphosate was causing us cancer, but now we got Dacthal and all kinds of other shit. Come on. With this fucking chemical agriculture, you lazy-ass farmers. Fucking get out there and do it the old way. Organic farming. And don't allow no organic farms to do this shit. I know I've heard rumors that there's more chemical involved in organic farming than should be. Let's not go down that road. Quit cutting corners with fucking chemicals. Get out there with your fucking shovel. Hire some motherfuckers to help and get your shit together. Because we don't want to pay with our health for your profit and your easier fucking job, you fucking farming motherfuckers. Stop poisoning us. It starts with the farmers. If you don't buy the fucking chemicals, then these fucking companies can't control agriculture, can they? So stop this shit. Your profits are not worth the price we pay for them. Fuck. Overall, the USDA found 225 different pesticides in the pesticide breakdown products on popular fruits and vegetables Americans eat every day. And for vegans, they're eating it every fucking 2 hours. 2 hours they're fucking taking that shit in. Take that shit in, vegans. It's healthy and shit. You're saving the animals. Of course, you're fucking yourself in the process, but hey, you can't make a fucking omelet without breaking some eggs. Oh, wait a minute, that's not vegan. I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry. The USDA had not tested kale for almost a decade. Oh, well, why would they test it? Because they already know the fucking answer. And they were probably discouraged from testing it. Funding and shit. Revolving door and shit. That's why it's not tested. If they really gave a fuck, they'd have tested every fucking year. But even as its popularity as a food rich in vitamins and antioxidants and chemicals and shit, level and number of pesticide residues found on kale has increased significantly. EWG's analysis places kale in third on this year's Dirty Dozen, our annual ranking of fruits and vegetables with the most pesticides. And look at this. The top fucking 3 are keto. Are you keto? Strawberries are even still in my diet to a very minor degree in the Halo Top that I get. So I'm getting some of these chemicals because, they ain't fucking washing that shit before they put it in there. Well, even if they are, it showed that even with the washing and the normal prep, these chemicals don't go away. You can't just wash them off. but we'll get to that in a minute. Spinach, that was a huge one for me. I had lots of spinach early in my ketogenic diet, and as a result, my health didn't get all the way there. I still had depressions. I still had occasional, autoimmune issues. Not nowhere near what I had, but every once in a while I'd have a little fuck up. And that was a big part of it. And once these things got out of me, my symptoms resolved. So, and I never did kale. Never was a kale fan, but I know plenty of people who do. Of course, then you got the fruitarians that are next in line to get fucked up with all of these fruits. So you eating a lot of fruit? Hey, vegetable police, you're worried about whether or not your broom's fucking organic and your bed is off-gassing? Well, you might want to take a look at some of the fruits you're stuffing in your fucking face, because right here, that's why. That's why you're going to have problems. You may feel good for now. It's not going to last, buddy. Sorry to say. And it's kind of stupid for you to go so much trouble trying to be healthy with the stuff you're furnishing your apartment with while you're eating fucking chemically laced fucking fruits. And guarantee you, Toronto isn't protecting you from this shit. Want to know how I know that? Because I've spent a lot of time in Toronto and a lot of time in Montreal, and sure enough, it's not fucking healthy for you. I do agree with his latest video where he's talking about, we should stop fighting with each other. Well, that's what I'm trying to show vegans who are patient enough to come to this fucking channel and put up with my shit for a little while, that, yeah, we can't concern ourselves with beating each other up over whose diet is best when diets for both of us are fucked up. So, getting to my latest issues. Look at this down here. Potatoes. Who knew? I thought potatoes were safe. I thought it was in the ground. Nope. Sorry. They're part of the dirty dozen, as are tomatoes. So my low-carb pizza sauce, getting all kinds of dosed with chemicals. Thankfully, I only do it once a week. So there's that. And celery. Most of the foods in this dirty dozen are also on the keto list. Pay attention, whether you're keto or vegan, we're all being poisoned together. Now, the difference is, I believe vegans are dosing themselves a lot higher than ketos. You can only eat so much of this shit before you hit your carb limit on a ketogenic diet. You can have a couple strawberries. You can't sit there and make a fucking strawberry fucking smoothie. You can't make a kale and spinach smoothie either. You fucking go over on your carbs. Can't eat potatoes. So you're having a fucking cheat day, or unless you have a very, very small amount. And tomatoes you can kind of have, but not a lot. Vegans are unregulated in the amount of this shit that they can eat. So let's see, what made up the dirty dozen here? Each of these foods tested positive for a number of different pesticide residues and contained higher concentrations of pesticides than other produce. Key findings: more than 90% of samples of strawberries, apples, cherries, spinach, nectarines, and kale tested positive for 2 or more pesticides. Multiple samples of the kale showed 18 different pesticides. Enjoy your kale, because I'll never fucking eat that shit again. It's not even on my list of shit to have on a cheat meal. And I'm probably going to avoid spinach too, for the most part. Even though I do kind of like buttered spinach, but can't have the poison anymore. Thanks for fucking up spinach for me, fucking dickhead. Fucking agricultural companies and shit and farmers that can't fucking grow shit without fucking pouring chemicals on it. Stop chemical farming, dickheads, so we can actually eat food again. How's that? Will that work? Is it okay if I eat food without worrying about having a fucking grabber or getting cancer or getting fucking autoimmune illnesses or autism or all the other fucking shit? Can you just fucking stop it with the chemicals already? Fuck. Different fruits and vegetables can have vastly different levels of numbers of pesticides detected on the crop. All research agrees on the health benefits of a diet that includes fruits and vegetables and eating fresh produce, organic or conventional as budget allows, is essential for health. Yeah. If it wasn't filled with chemicals, it would be interesting to see which diet flourishes without that variable. But as long as these chemicals are out there, you cannot 100% say for certain that your diet is a healthy diet. I can't say it. Because in honesty, it's not a healthy diet. Keto's not healthy. Vegan diet's not healthy. Even carnivore's not healthy. Why? Because these chemicals are in it. If the chemicals weren't in there, then we could have a real race and figure out which diet is the healthiest. It'd take a while. A lot of bickering, a lot of fighting, a lot of shit talking on both sides. But in the meantime, we can all just shut the fuck up because none of us has a healthy diet right now because all of our diets contain these foods and contain these chemicals. And until we get that chemical shit cleaned up, our diet will never be healthy. Sorry to say it. Hope I didn't shatter any illusions. Now, we'll be healthier than the standard American diet because we lower our dose to a lot of shit. When you throw grain in that mix, which is soaked in fucking glyphosate and who knows what other fucking chemicals, you know, it's arguable that we are healthier with these diets, but we will never be optimally healthy with these chemicals in our life. We will still have symptoms. We will still end up in the healthcare industry at the end of the fucking road. It's just how long and how bad it is. And it's pissing me off because I did work hard to try and make sure that I don't end up in the healthcare industry. And so far, so good. But I do believe it's because I'm mindful of this shit now that I'm able to continue to make health progress instead of slipping back. So here's the clean 15 for 2019. It's good that there's 15 of them. So these are relatively pesticide-free. Avocados. So that's good news for you ketos out there. You can do it. Avocados aren't something I eat, and in fact, I don't eat a lot of this stuff. Well, some of it I do. Sweet corn, pineapples, frozen sweet peas, onions. I eat onions. It's good to know that isn't fucking me. Papayas, eggplants, asparagus. I've occasionally had asparagus. It's good to know that that's not poison. That's still buttered asparagus. This is pretty good. Kiwis, cabbages, cauliflower. That's good for all you people making those cauliflower fucking pizza and shit. Cantaloupes, broccoli. Broccoli has other plant issues though, you know, especially if it's eaten raw. Mushrooms. That's good. I have lots of mushrooms, so we're good with the mushrooms. And honeydew melons. Relatively few pesticides were detected on these foods. Tests found that low concentrations of pesticide residue findings. Avocados and sweet corn were the cleanest, and less than 1% of samples showed any detectable pesticides. More than 70% of clean fruit and vegetable samples had no pesticide residues. So if you're looking to avoid glyphosate in your diet and you still want some vegetables in your life, there's your go-tos right there. Now, not all of these are ketogenic. Pineapples in particular are not. I don't think peas are either. Kiwis, nope. And what else? Honeydew melons are probably out too. Sweet corn probably out too. So other than that, onions you keep to a minimum. You know, you can't go crazy with the onions, although sometimes I have. So yeah, that's what to avoid and what to have. And I guarantee you there's a whole lot of this going on in people's diets because these foods are very common staples for both the vegan and some of it for the ketogenic diet. Obviously, the fruits we're avoiding, which might be why keto is performing slightly better in terms of health than the vegan diet, because they're loading up on smoothie versions of this shit. And they're grinding in way more vegetables than a human being should be consuming. You cannot overeat vegetables without paying some form of consequence. And when you throw the chemicals into the mix, it multiplies your bad fucking health. The consequences are going to be multiplied because you are eating more than you should of these substances. It's my opinion. I'm not a fucking expert on it. But I would, if I was vegan, I'd be thinking about this shit. And I'd also be thinking about it as a keto. Carnivore, you're minimizing pretty well. You're just taking in meat, fat, and animal products. But keep in mind, those animals are eating this shit. And they have antibiotics if you're not eating organic. So there's that. So we're not all out of the woods here just because you're carnivore. But I think in terms of the anecdotal evidence on what diet is performing the best health-wise, carnivores leading the pack right now in terms of the research I've been doing and the stories I come across. I find that carnivores are a lot happier with their health, except for vegetable police, because, you just can't stick with it long enough. Health benefits of a diet low in pesticides. A French study published in December in JAMA Internal Medicine, a journal from the American Medical Association, found that among nearly 69,000 participants, those with the highest frequency of organic food consumption had 25% fewer cancers than individuals who did not eat organic food. In 2018, data from the Harvard University School of Public Health and Reproductive Health, or EARTH, it's very snappy, Harvard. Still fucking totally dislike your science, but, at least you got a snappy fucking name. It's good. Sounds official. Study found surprising association among study participants between the consumption of foods high in pesticide residues and fertility problems. These findings raise an important question about the safety of pesticide mixtures found on produce and suggest that people should focus on eating fruits and vegetables with the fewest pesticide residues possible. Eat organic. That's all you can do. You can eat organic. I could shut my phone off too, but I'm a piece of shit, so I'm not gonna. But it costs more, but it'll save you money down the line in medical costs. Straight up. So I would go as organic as you can with your foods. That's the only recourse you have to try and avoid this mess. So if it's not real organic, and I verify that shit too. Don't just go down to your farmer's market and think they didn't go to Walmart on the way there and set up their little fucking booth. Yeah, verify. Go see the farm. Are they really organic, or do you see big, huge tractors with the fucking wings out there ready to spray glyphosate all over your shit? Something to think about. Are they actually plowing those fields? Are they doing the grunt work, tilling and all of that shit that they should be doing? Or are they chemically farming? I assume that the organic label has a certain requirement in terms of what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do. If only we had those kind of regulations on our chemical food, industries. So, bottom line, whether you're vegan, whether you're keto, whether you're carnivore, no matter what fucking diet you're on, and especially if you're on the standard American diet, we're getting fucked. All right? We need to stop fucking ourselves with these chemicals. And if you're concerned with your health for any reason, no matter what the symptom is, couldn't hurt, just as a self-experiment, to remove these foods, the Dirty Dozen, and any other heavily chemicaled foods, such as grain, from your diet. Get out of the processed foods. Get to the organic section. Make sure it's actually organic. If you can go direct to market, that's even better. Drive to the farmer's market. Find out where the farmers are. Say, hey, can I just come to your farm once a month and fucking load up? It's going to mean you're going to eat shit in season, too. Imagine that. Instead of just having shit farmed in all the fucking year into the Walmart, the chemical farming. Which is probably the only thing that makes it possible for them fucking things to get to your fucking shelf all year round. You ever wonder how it's possible to eat a banana in the middle of winter in the north? Chemicals and shit. GMOs and shit. That's how it happens. There's no good fruit there. Sorry. But what the fuck do I know anyway? Because I'm not a fucking expert. I'm just a fucking asshole. Please like and subscribe for more shit. And I'll make way more shit. If you found this video entertaining or enlightening, please head to ScottTheTruckDriver.com and leave a tip in the virtual tip jar. For every $20 I receive, it will cause me to make a video, up to 5 videos per week. If I don't finish the 5, they get added to the next week. But it's a lot of content for you to consume, and the reason you're seeing all of these videos is because people have contributed and continue to support the work I do. So that's what you can do there. If you are not seeing my notifications, I mean, you can click the bell, but I don't know if that fucking thing works. So I created an email list on ScottTheTruckDriver.com. At the bottom of the page, you can subscribe to an email list, and you'll get emails notifying you of new videos, new live streams. I'm trying to send them out ahead of time for scheduling streams, so if you are having problems keeping up with my streaming schedule, you can subscribe to that email list. It's free. Down at the bottom of the page, you'll also get access to the subscriber lounge. So there's that. Also on ScottTheTruckDriver.com is a calendar that has posted whenever I schedule a stream. That's where to go to find out if I have one scheduled. Or you can just follow me on DLive, and you'll get notifications through the phone app of DLive whenever I do go live, so that you can come join the fun when I do the live video recordings, podcasts, or just hanging out and having a good old time, which we've started to do lately, and I got to admit, it's been fun hanging with some of you, and I'm glad that we're able to do that, and that we don't have to worry about the algorithms fucking with us while we're doing it. So there's that. But that's it for this video. Have a nice motherfucking day. And shit. See, we can all just get along because we're all fucked. We're all fucked together. It's not no one's fucking nobody. Vegans aren't fucking the ketos. Vegans aren't fucking. No. Big Agra's fucking all of us. So let's unfuck ourselves for a change. Alright? So go, for all you vegans, go and unfuck yourself. I say that with the most love and understanding. Enjoy. And shit.